Hey guys, Dr. Mike Silvestri here with Silvestri Chiropractic and Wellness. Today we're going to talk about, this is going to be the first of a series of videos that I'm doing. And today we're going to talk about an important concept. Okay, now before I start, you may be wondering, as a chiropractor, as a doctor of chiropractic, why am I talking about germ theory versus terrain theory? Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. Germ theory versus terrain theory, okay? Well, some of you may not know this, okay, but B.J. Palmer and D.D. Palmer as well, who were the founders of chiropractic, D.D. being the founder of chiropractic, he always wondered essentially why two men in the same exact room, in the same exact environment, why one would get deathly sick, have a fever, coughing, sneezing, get pneumonia, okay, and then the one would be perfectly healthy. He would always wonder the answer to that question, why that was. Okay, we're going to talk about today why that actually is. Okay, maybe some of you know of someone that had, of course, we have, maybe you know someone that's gotten very sick, okay, and wondered why that one person in that environment, in that same environment, that same household with their family, none of them got sick, or maybe three of them got sick and one didn't, and they were around each other. So we're going to answer that question today with this germ theory of disease versus terrain theory. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is important, so I want you guys to listen up. Okay, so essentially the first thing is, let's talk about what germ theory actually is. Okay, so first thing we talk about is germ theory. Okay, what does germ theory actually say? Okay, to make it very basic for you guys, okay, germs essentially are the primary cause of disease / illness. In other words, if you get rid of the germ, if you get rid of the microbe, if you get rid of the virus, then the disease will go away and it'll never come back. Okay, that's what it's saying. It's saying that's the cause of the illness. That's the cause of the coughing, the sneezing, the skin infection, you name it, basically it, okay? Now, this is what medicine, the study of medicine, has adopted. Okay? And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this, okay? When you go to the typical medical doctor and you're sick, typically what they'll do, if they think it's an actual bacterial infection going on, whether it's respiratory, like a pneumonia or something like that, or a bronchitis or a sinus infection, they'll give you an antibiotic, right? So they'll give you an antibiotic to kill the germs, or germ, okay, whatever that is. Okay, so medicine, again, this is what medicine has adopted. Okay, the germ theory of disease. Again, the germ theory of disease says that the germ, the bacteria, the virus, the parasite causes the illness, and that's what we have to attack. We have to get rid of that, okay? And we have, by some way, whether it's an antibiotic or anti-parasitic medication or something like that. Okay, that's the study of medicine. That's what they've adopted. It's called germ theory of disease. Okay, what I'm going to tell you today is why this is incorrect. This is an incorrect way of thinking. Okay, and I want you guys to think about this on your own. Okay, if this were correct, if germ theory were correct, okay, in the words of B.J. Palmer, he said if the germ theory were correct, there'd be no one alive to actually see it, okay? And the reason why is because, okay, so we're going to cross this out. This is incorrect. Now I'm going to show you why it's not. Okay, I'm not going to just tell you and tell you to take my word for it, okay? If this were correct, no one would be alive, because there's thousands and millions and billions of germs around us at all times, guys. In this room right now, we have thousands, millions, billions, trillions of germs, viruses, funguses, bacteria, probably molds as well. But why am I not deathly sick? Why am I not coughing, hacking with a fever? Why don't I have massive skin infections, okay, all over me? Okay? It's because my body is actually able to handle that. And we're actually meant to stay in what we call, and this is basic understanding of germs and what we call the study of microbiology, small biology. This is basic stuff, okay? We're what we call in a mutually, okay? Let me just talk about this. This is important, okay? Symbiotic. What the heck does that mean? Relationship with microbes. This is a very important statement. What does that mean? We're in a mutually symbiotic relationship with microbes. By the way, if you ask any medical doctor this, they would actually agree. They learned this in microbiology, as did I. Okay, this is a well-known fact in the scientific literature. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, this means that we are meant to live with microbes. Yes, you heard me right. We're meant to live with microbes. We're not meant to kill all of them, okay? They've actually been, microbes and viruses and things like that have been here for thousands of years, even before human beings, okay? We actually need them in our intestines and our body to actually stay healthy, okay? So we have to understand this. This is a very important concept. We're in a mutually symbiotic relationship with microbes, okay? Let's talk about the correct theory. So now we're going to go over the correct theory of this. And this is what's called terrain theory. Okay? So terrain theory is a different theory. This is the new theory. This is the new science. However, B.J. Palmer knew that this is right. This was right way back then. Okay, in 1897. What does this say? Okay. This basically says that the tissue, okay, strength of the tissue, in other words, the health of the tissue in the body, okay, being the terrain, so it could be any tissue, could be the intestines, could be the heart, could be the lungs, okay, is the primary determining factor whether you get sick or get an illness or not, okay? So, what we're going to talk about here is the primary determining factor. Okay, so again, that strength of the tissue / the terrain is the primary determining factor for illness. Okay, in other words, what we need to understand, in other words, if the tissue is very sick, very unhealthy, very toxic, okay, very inflamed, what's going to happen is the normal microbes, and I'm going to show you a graphic of this so you understand this, okay, very easy. So normal microbes, this is basically how disease occurs, okay, I'll explain this to you, okay. So what we're going to do is put here sick tissue. Okay, what I mean by that is it's inflamed, it's unhealthy, it's toxic, okay? There's a lot of problems with it, okay? It's aged, okay? So you have sick tissue. From sick tissue comes essentially this multiplying of normal bacteria. Because remember, in all tissue, not in all tissue, but in most tissues in the body, there's normal bacteria. Okay, there's normal bacteria, and we're meant to live with it. That normal bacteria or viruses, or fungus, or etc., we'll put, okay, is essentially going to multiply okay? So that normal bacteria multiplies. I might spell that wrong, but it multiplies. It's important because it's what's called opportunistic, okay? Okay? In other words, it takes an opportunity, okay? It wants to survive too. So if it sees a sick tissue, okay, if it sees a sick tissue, okay, it's going to actually take an opportunity to say, hey, we need to multiply, we need to survive too, so it's going to multiply. When it multiplies, okay, and it overgrows, okay, then you get an illness, okay? And finally, you get symptoms. And now you're what we call sick. Okay? This is how this works. Okay? So again, to review this, terrain theory is the strength of the tissue of terrain is the primary cause of illness. Okay? The sick tissue, this is kind of the order of events that happens. Okay? So you have a sick tissue. This could be your throat, this could be your intestines, this could be your lungs, okay? It gets very toxic, it gets weakened, okay? It might be from stress, it might be from anxiety, it might be from poor eating habits. Poor eating habits are extremely important, okay? It might be from nutrient deficiencies that cause that sick tissue, okay? It might be from genetics, a very small component may be from genetics, okay? But the tissue's sick. That normal bacteria multiplies, or viruses, or funguses, or parasites, okay? That leads to what they call illness, okay? And then you get symptoms, okay? And essentially, coughing, sneezing, hacking, muscle aches, tiredness, fatigue, you name it, okay? Then you get what we call, that's what they call, you're sick, okay? So this is the order of things that happen. Okay. Now, let's talk about why this terrain theory is correct still. Okay, because I want to make sure you're very clear on why this germ theory is wrong. It's not true. This is not true. If this were true, okay, why isn't everyone deathly ill right now? Okay, there's, like I said, there's bacteria, there's viruses, there's funguses, there's all these living organisms in this room right now. Why am I not deathly sick? Okay, why is it that when someone comes in here, okay, and they have their own, what we call virome, okay, virome being, by the way, you have trillions of viruses inside you, and they breathe it to me. Why do I not get sick? Okay, if the germ theory was correct, I should get sick. If germs really cause disease, I should be sick 24/7. Okay, remember, whether you have symptoms or not, okay, everyone's carrying viruses, bacteria, funguses at all times. If you come in contact with someone, you're getting part of their microbiota, so to speak, which is not really, I mean, it's a fancy term. Basically, their bacterial load and their bacterial and viral load and balance, okay? And that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen because we have an immune system, okay, which is a whole topic for another discussion. But I want to make sure that you understand why this terrain theory is correct, okay? So how does chiropractic fall into this, and where does it come into this, okay? This concept of a terrain theory, okay? Well, I'll tell you how it falls into it. Okay, chiropractic focuses on strengthening the body. Okay, let me explain that. Let me say that again. Chiropractic focuses on strengthening the body. In other words, strengthening the terrain of the body. Okay, when you get adjusted, when you get a chiropractic adjustment, and you get that nerve flow to every cell, tissue, organ in your body, optimally, optimal nerve flow, optimal health, okay, is created, and essentially your body is strengthened, okay? So chiropractic focuses on strengthening the body to suit its environment, okay? That's essentially what it does. Let me say that again. Chiropractic strengthens the body to suit the environment, okay? Medicine changes the environment to suit the weakened body. Let me say that again. Medicine changes the environment to suit the weakened body. They're changing the environment. They're trying to kill off the microbes. They're trying to kill off the bacteria. They're trying to kill off the viruses, which makes no sense, okay? This is so simple. It's unbelievable how no one knows this, okay? And this is why I'm making this video, because this is actually very easy to understand, okay? And the fact that we're in the situation we're in this country is unbelievable right now. Because people don't have a basic understanding of modern microbiology and immunology. But anyway, I don't need to get into all that and go on a rant on that. But anyway, let me say this again because this is so important, okay? So essentially we have medicine is the study of basically what it does, what medicine actually does, and what medicine focuses on, okay? They adopted that germ theory disease. They change the environment to suit the weakened body. In other words, they kill the germs. Okay, that's what they focus on. You go to the hospital, what do? So they have everything sanitized down to it's unbelievable how much sanitation they do and just sterilization of everything, okay? Yet, let me point this out to you. They have more disease in the hospital than any other place. They have more infection rates in the hospital than any other place, and yet it's sterilized, okay? It's absolutely sterilized, and it's sanitized, and everything is clean. Now, why is that? Okay, think about that for a second. Okay, now essentially, medicine, again, changes the environment to suit the weakened body, okay? Chiropractic focuses on strengthening the body to suit its environment, okay? I'm going to go into more detail in this in other videos, okay? We're going to talk about what chiropractic is, how this even more so ties in, and why is this true, okay? Why does it strengthen the body to suit its environment? Because the nervous system, being the brain, the spinal cord, all the nerves that on the spinal cord supplies every cell, tissue, organ in the body, okay? There's trillions of cells. You have 72 trillion cells inside your body, okay, all supplied by the nerve system, the nervous system, okay? If there's any interference to the nerve transmission, your body doesn't function the way it was designed to, hence you have a weakened terrain, okay? Okay? Okay, once you get rid of the interference with an adjustment, with a chiropractic adjustment, the terrain is strengthened, the body is strengthened, the immune system is strengthened, and your body functions at a higher level. Now, of course, there's other factors to this, the diet, lifestyle, all that stuff too, but this is one component. So to sum it up, the terrain theory essentially is correct. Okay, the germ theory is incorrect. It's not a true thing. Okay, the terrain theory is the correct version, and this is what I work with here. When I make an adjustment to someone, I'm strengthening their terrain. Now, I'm not directly strengthening their terrain, their own body is, but I'm releasing that nerve interference, and it allows the terrain to be strengthened. Okay. So very important stuff, guys. Please watch it. Share it with your family. Share it with your friends. This is a time where we really need to understand this concept because, yeah, this is important. So, thanks, guys. Again, Dr. Mike Silvestri, Silvestri Chiropractic and Wellness. Share it with your family and friends if they're interested, and even if they're not, just show it to them anyway. So. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.